So I'm like the smooth jazz part of .NET Conf. You're all over the excitement. You just need to take a little nap. Now's the time. Sit back, relax, and let's talk about the state of the .NET Foundation. So, hello everyone. So if you've been paying attention to .NET Conf like I have, you know it's no better time to be a .NET developer. And there's not just the stuff that Microsoft is doing and the great work the team has been putting out there. There's also all the things that the community have been doing as well. And that's what I like to talk to you about today is the community. So everyone out there who doesn't know who I am, I'm Kevin Griffin. I'm the current president of the .NET Foundation. I'm a longtime Microsoft MVP. I love .NET. I love the .NET community, and all this stuff just jives with me. If you like, talk to me afterwards. My socials are up on the screen. I'm also on LinkedIn. I'd love to communicate with you. Those of you out there who aren't familiar with the .NET Foundation, let me just kind of give you a quick little introduction about who we are and kind of what we try to do. So the formal answer to what the .NET Foundation is that we're a 501c6 nonprofit, basically established to support a commercially friendly open source platform around .NET. The 501c6, and those of you who are based in the States know that 501 is typically a nonprofit. A C6 means we're a membership-based nonprofit. So still a nonprofit, we're just slightly different in the letter of the law. Just a couple things you should know about the .NET Foundation is that we're 100% board of directors, volunteer board of directors, elected by membership. So if you're a .NET Foundation member, you are allowed to vote in the elections, and you choose who guides the .NET Foundation. To preface that a little bit, we're 100% non-Microsoft board. That's hasn't always been the case with the .NET Foundation, but as of today, since I've been on the board of directors, it's been 100% non-Microsoft. I do put a slight asterisk next to that, but we'll talk about that in a moment. And every member of the board of directors serves a 3-year term. We recently made a change from 2 years to 3 years just because we wanted to make sure any one person who joined the board of directors had the chance to really try to get some changes into motion. And we found that 2 years was typically not enough to get some of that work done. So we increased it to 3 years. Now, your current board of directors, you have me, Kevin Griffin. I'm joined by our vice president, Mitchell Sellers, and the rest of our board of directors, Mr. Glenn Watson, Ms. Lou Creamers, Mr. Chris Woodruff, and Mr. Kendall Miller, all serve as your elected board of directors. Then we have Mr. Chris Stefanos, who is our founding member. And remember that asterisk I just mentioned a moment ago? I said we're 100% non-Microsoft board, but Mr. Chris Stefanos is from Microsoft, and he is a board member who just helps support some of the things that we're trying to get done. And he's amazing at his job. Chris is one of my favorite people. I love everyone on the board of directors. Recently, we had an election and we brought on 2 new board members who haven't started their terms yet, but will at the beginning of January, Mr. Jay Tower and Miss Irina Demente. I'm looking forward to serving with both of them with my time left on the board. And I've already had some conversations. I know there are a lot of big ideas coming down the line. So what does the .NET Foundation do? This is the $1 million question. If you ask Reddit, we do absolutely nothing. But we're not talking to Reddit today. We're talking to the great people of .NET Conf. I break what we do up into 2 categories. We have projects, and then we have people. So first, let's talk about projects, because this is ultimately what everyone looks for the .NET Foundation to talk about. We support over 130 open source projects in the .NET community. Some are Microsoft, but the majority of them are just community projects. And there's a lot of different ways that we support open source. I'm just going to kind of highlight the big overarching themes. The first one is project guidance. So if you're a .NET Foundation project, you are just part of the community. There's other project maintainers who come in, you ask for or you offer mentoring to these projects, you answer questions. If you're just a person coming in looking to get involved in helping maintain a project, we can assist with that sort of stuff. If you're asking questions about best practices around, say, CLAs or doing releases or code signing, we can help in a lot of different ways, just because through all of our projects, we have dozens and dozens and dozens of years of just technical knowledge. We also support legal services for different projects. This is not something we talk about too much publicly because no one really likes talking publicly about legal issues. But if you're a project under the .NET Foundation and you have a legal problem that needs to be taken care of or addressed, the .NET Foundation has legal services available to it that can assist you in these cases. And sometimes we have to go talk to our lawyer, and we have a great lawyer who is knowledgeable in open source and can help us through a lot of these issues. I think marketing is kind of the big one that I wish I could devote way more time to, but a lot of the projects I talk to on a somewhat regular basis, we ask, what can we do to help you as a project? Now, obviously, the first thing they say is, well, pay me, help us get money and funding. The second thing they talk about is marketing. Can you help people just know that we exist? How many times have you looked for a solution to a problem you're having in any project and realize, oh, someone has already solved that problem with a library. Oh, it's been up on NuGet for 4 or 5 years. I'm just going to pull that down and start using it. Now, we're just trying to help people know what projects exist out there. And we do that through a variety of different ways, through social media, through our newsletter, and some other things I'll talk about towards the end. CLA management is other big thing that we offer to a lot of projects. If you're accepting contributors, you want to have a CLA with them and make sure that everything is legal. We provide the resources for you to be able to do that, to get a list of who has signed licenses with your project. It helps from a legal standpoint. And we've had a couple projects come back to us where we've had to pull a list of licensed contributors because something was happening. Some projects we offer limited infrastructure, which like the easiest way to describe this is just Azure. So if you're an open source project and you need some Azure resources like Key Vault or hosting, we do have resources available to us to provide that to our projects. So when I say limited infrastructure, it's basically, it's Azure in this simplest terms. And then a lot of projects take advantage of the code signing resources that we have. If you've ever gone through a code signing process in your environment, you know it can be time intensive. It can also be costly depending on the type of signing that you're trying to get done. Any project that comes into the .NET Foundation is eligible for code signing, which helps a ton with just promoting your project, because some businesses require that all the binaries are signed before they are shipped. So if you're a project with the foundation, you get access to code signing, businesses are more likely to take advantage of your project in their infrastructure. Now, I had a long list of all the new projects that we had recently brought into the .NET Foundation, and I would love to talk about all of them at length. But just for the sake of time, I'm going to touch on just a couple that we have recently brought in, just to give them a little bit of visibility so you can go check them out afterwards. The first is FlowTide. So if you're doing a high-performance SQL and you need a streaming data processing engine, FlowTide recently joined the .NET Foundation. If you're looking for a cloud-native cloud streaming tool, Cloud Streams recently joined the .NET Foundation. I'm sure there's a lot of Avalonia users out there in .NET Conf, but if you're looking for enterprise UI library, we recently brought in Ursa Avalonia to provide you some UI tools. And any friends out there who have worked with SignalR, which is one of my favorite libraries in .NET, is you are aware of MessagePack, and MessagePack recently joined the .NET Foundation as well. Now, there's dozens and dozens more I would love to talk about, but I can't. And not every project that applies to join the .NET Foundation is brought in. Sometimes projects are not at the maturity level that the project committee is looking for. And they look at a variety of different things like the number of commits, the number of maintainers, stars, just general who's using the project. If it's a fresh project that someone started 2 weeks ago, it's likely not to get added to the .NET Foundation. If it's coming along, but it's not quite where the project committee would like to see that project be, they will typically suggest that project comes in as what we call a seed project. This was recently added by the board of directors in the past year or two because we wanted to provide some resources to up and coming projects, but they might not necessarily be able to take advantage of all the resources that we have. So the seed category means we're going to keep an eye on them. We're going to offer them a little bit of mentorship and help to just build awareness, and check back on that project in a couple months and see where it's progressed. And there's a handful of projects that we have moved into that category that we are watching, and I see them being talked about on social media. So it's very likely that when the project committee meets again and they review these seed projects, many of these projects will be fully moved into the .NET Foundation over the next couple months. Now, I have a whole drawn out set of slides on just controversy of the .NET Foundation. I joked about Reddit a little bit earlier. There's a lot of people have a poor taste of the .NET Foundation because of actions of the foundation many, many years ago. I do not have time to go into detail on any of those things, but what I like to talk about is just the foundation is trying to rebuild trust. And the big thing that we do, that we've changed since controversy many, many years ago, is that we bring all of our projects in under contribution-based licenses. The .NET Foundation does not own any new project coming in into our ecosystem. We are merely here to provide resources. We do take a copyright license on the project for different legal reasons, but we don't ever own the project. We've also made changes to limit the board of directors, the Microsoft, non-Microsoft volunteers, members of the community. And that's simply because we have read so many messages out there on the internet that when the foundation makes a decision, they put it under the umbrella of Microsoft is doing this, Microsoft is doing that. And it's not Microsoft. It's a volunteer board of directors of your peers, people made up in the community. We used to have a executive director position for the board of directors that did a lot of the heavy lifting. That position has been eliminated. So any decision that comes from the .NET Foundation is agreed on by quorum of the board of directors. We also try to be fully transparent about anything that happens. So if there's a project that goes commercial, for example, we try to talk about why they are leaving the foundation and the decision up to that point. And our overall goal is that the .NET Foundation wants to help projects. We do not want to own projects. And there's a lot of people who think we own every project that's under our umbrella. And that's not true. So I hope if you're out there and you're listening and you have this poor opinion of us in the past, you take a moment and maybe reassess how you feel, because we made a lot of changes over the past several years. All right, back to dividing up between projects and people. Let's talk about the people now, the you, everyone out there watching .NET Conf. It is very likely that in your backyard, you have access to a .NET user group or a .NET meetup. We support, through the .NET Foundation, over 231 meetups via our Meetup Pro sponsorship. If you've used Meetup as an organizer, Meetup is expensive. It is also the place that a lot of folks go to by default when they're looking for a community to get involved in. So if you're a community organizer trying to serve up a Meetup, it can be a little bit limiting to try to put that on Meetup if you don't have the assistance. .NET Foundation has come in, and we've supported 231 meetups. We used to have more, but COVID killed a lot of them, so they are no longer in the program. But our goal is to support the people out there that are helping promote .NET. Now, through those meetups, we've hosted over the past 3 months 19,000 events, which I think, hands to you all, because that's the community doing the work. That's not the foundation. That's not Microsoft. That's the community doing the work to teach everyone about .NET. Now, through these meetups, we have 337,000 meetup members, and that's across 45 countries. So if I show the map of all the meetups that we support, it's a little broad over in Asia, but if you're in the States or in Europe, you're probably close to a .NET meetup that you could go to. Now, I'd love to see more dots up on this list. If you are running a meetup or thinking about starting a meetup and there's not a dot near you, we should talk, because I would love to give you the resources to accomplish that. Just start a meetup and see if people come. Now, kind of wrapping things up, I'll talk about what the .NET Foundation is, what we try to do, the people that we try to help, what's the current state of the .NET Foundation, because we've made a lot of changes over the past couple of years. The question I ask myself every time I'm talking about the .NET Foundation, every time the board of directors comes together, I say, how can we be better stewards of .NET open source? Now, I'm not perfect. I'm not a maintainer either. I'm just a guy in the community who has a vested interest in .NET succeeding. I don't want to go learn anything else. I like .NET. It would kill me right now if I had to go learn Go or Rust or something like that. I want to stay in .NET. So what can I do to help .NET be better? What can we do to keep .NET better? So if you're in the foundation and you're a foundation project, we're trying to start a couple new initiatives. We're trying to start town hall meetings with our projects just to keep them up to date of what's going on with the foundation, and also let them bring questions to us that we can go get answers to. And this is an upcoming initiative. We've also recently kicked off our .NET Foundation Buddies program, where every project in the foundation should have a contact on the board of directors, where if you have a problem, you can reach out to your board member, and that board member will bring it to the rest of the foundation to try to get a resolution. We're actively talking to our projects to promote their updates. If you're planning a new release, we want to know about it, because we want to put that out on our newsletter. We want to put that out on social media. We want to send that out to our meetups. We want to tell everyone about the good work that you're doing in your project. Big part of that, we also do a project spotlight. So instead of just listing all of our projects, we'll pick one every month, and that project will get a full spread of what it's about, the people who are maintaining it, because we want to tell people about the projects. And it is people doing this work. So in addition to our project spotlight, we're doing member spotlights. So pick a member of the .NET Foundation community, and let's talk more about that person doing the good work. I mentioned earlier that we had removed our executive director. A big part of that process was the .NET Foundation had to relearn how to be an organization. And so much was lost when the executive director went away. We reduced our overhead immensely during that process, but we had to learn how to do things. So the .NET Foundation is redefining how the .NET Foundation operates. So we do that through a series of SOPs. I know it's businessy words again, but standard operating procedures of how we do our work. From a boring funding standpoint, the .NET Foundation was hemorrhaging money. When I had come onto the board of directors, this was already seen as a problem, and steps were being taken to fix that. Right now, I can say the board of directors, we've eliminated 80% of our overhead as an organization. This was money that was not going to projects. It was not going to people. It was just being thrown away. And we were able to eliminate a lot of that. So everything that we spend money now on should be directly impacting projects and people. We're also actively trying to partner with new folks out there in the community to be able to better promote our projects and people. So if you are a company looking to get out to the .NET community, we'd love to talk to you. So ultimately, this comes back to how can we be better stewards of .NET open source? It's all for the people, and it's all for the projects. So yeah, if you're interested in sponsoring, we'd love to talk to you. Contact at dotnetfoundation.org. And just wrapping things up, and then if there are any questions, I would love to chat with you in the chat. So the big thing, get involved in a project. If there's a project out there, even if it's not in the foundation, go contribute. We've talked to a lot of maintainers who are looking for not code help per se, but maybe help with documentation, help with samples, help with getting started guides. There's a lot of opportunity to contribute to a project, and we'll help you find one if you're just looking around. Sponsor a project. So a lot of projects out there don't get a lot of sponsorship dollars. It's folks just like you and me giving their free time to support these things that are basically making your lives easier. So if you're not sponsoring a project, take a moment to go see if they could accept a couple bucks a month. I'm currently working through it right now. It's the open source maintainers fee project to see what projects, what libraries we use to make sure that maybe let's give a couple bucks to them every month and make sure our projects don't die, or make sure we don't have to do significant work if a project goes dead. So sponsor a project. You can also become a member of the .NET Foundation. We'd love to have you. Anyone's eligible. It's 100% free. It used to be a paid fee. You have to pay contributor dues, but that's gone. It's now 100% free to join. When you join, you get voting rights. So you can vote in, say, our upcoming election in the next couple of months. We have another 3 members that will be rolling off, myself included. You can take my place. And yeah, you get to vote in that. You also get the opportunity to participate in any committee meeting that you are interested in, be it our projects committee, our membership committee, or we also have an outreach committee. And our Discord is filled with amazing humans that you can talk about all the open source that you want. And wrapping things up, if you don't want to do any of that, just go to a meetup. Meetups would love your support so much. Just showing up is the easiest thing you can do. And if that's all you can do, yeah, go to a meetup. There's a lot of them out there. We do have election season coming up soon. Go run for the board of directors if you're a member. But last things last, if you're out there, you talk about .NET open source, maybe mention the .NET Foundation, say nice things about us, because we're doing a lot of good work, and the volunteers of the .NET Foundation are working really hard. But with all that said, thank you all so much for hanging out with me here at .NET Conf. I hope you enjoy the rest of .NET Conf.